Here comes Pete, strolling down the street, rocking red shoes on his four furry feet. Pete is going to school, and he sings this song. It feels like Pete is also blue. Yeah, I've done that too, Todd, a lot. I have fostered a lot of cats when I lived in Virginia, quite a bit. A couple of them were failures. They're at home right now. I'm rocking in my school shoes. I'm rocking in my school shoes. I'm rocking in my school shoes. Pete is sitting at his desk when his teacher says, "Come on, Pete, down that hall to a room with books on every wall." Awesome, Childlight. So this is Pete the cat. Pete has never been to the library before. Does Pete worry? Goodness, no. He finds his favorite book and sings his song. I'm reading in my school shoes. I'm reading in my school shoes. I'm reading in my school shoes. I don't know what that is, but some food here. Whew. Check out Pete. He's ready to eat in a big noisy room with tables and seats. Where is Pete? Hi, Susie. The lunchroom. It can be loud and busy in the lunchroom. Does Pete worry? Goodness, no. He sits down with his friends and sings his song. I'm eating in my school shoes. I'm eating in my school shoes. I'm eating in my school shoes. Hello, Jensen. Pete and his friends are playing outside on a green grassy field with swings and tall slides. Where is Pete? One of those quills just walked by me. Pete is in the playground. Kids are running in every direction. Does Pete worry? Goodness, no. He slides and swings and sings his song. I'm playing in my school shoes. I'm playing in my school shoes. I'm playing in my school shoes. All day long, Pete sings his song. I'm singing in my school shoes. I'm painting in my school shoes. I'm adding in my school shoes. I'm writing in my school shoes. Goldfish crackers. Did I just have goldfish crackers? Actually, I had animal crackers and I had Sun Chips. Yes. When school is done, Pete rides the bus home. Pete's mom asks him, "What did you do at school today?" And Pete says, "I was rocking in my school shoes. I was rocking in my school shoes. I was rocking in my school shoes. And I will do it again tomorrow." because it's all good. I think those are Converse shoes. Hi, Jensen. Hello from Deborah Sinclair. Well, hello. Hello, Deborah Sinclair. So that is the end of the book. And can you see the Cat City school bus? So, you know, it's funny because I've been looking at, and there's a whole bunch of Pete the Cat books out on Amazon. I never heard of it before. Yes. Let me just check my... Somebody just texted me. Even though Rain's baseball game is over, they called him from a little late to play in their league tonight. Alright, it's just what my mother texted me. Alright, so I know we read this oh, good, Bear. I'm glad you liked the story. We have another story, Bear, and this is called Verdi. Now, we've read this here before, and this is from the same author that also did Stella Luna, which we've also read. So this is about Verdi the snake. Am I new? Who are you asking, Jensen? I'm not new. Kind of old, if you really ask. Well, let's say not really old. How about chronologically enhanced? Sorry. So we're going to read about Verdi the snake. On a small tropical island, the sun rose high above the steamy jungle. A mother python was sending her hatchlings out into the forest the way all mother pythons do. Grow up big and green as the tree's leaves. She called to her little yellow babies as they happily scattered among the trees. But Verdi dawdled. He was proudly eyeing his bright yellow skin. He especially liked the bold stripes that zigzagged down his back. Why the hurry to grow up big and green, he wondered. Maybe some of the older snakes in the jungle could tell him. Verdi ventured into the treetops to look for them. So here is Verdi. Umbles, Aggie, and Ribbon were lazing on some branches nearby. Verdi peered at their droopy green bodies. It's not polite to stare, chided Aggie. Umbles burped and groaned. It's taken nearly 4 weeks for that last lizard to digest. I surely do like lizards, but lizards do not like me. Thank you. Thank you, Jetson. Yes, I like the cats. Oh, look who's come out. Look, it's Derecho. Oh, that's Derecho, Lauren. Basically, that's how Derecho eats. Derecho was the very, very first CH kitty here. Derecho's been here since he's been, 6 weeks old? 5 or 6 weeks old? And he's fine. He is a resident. And CH stands for cerebellar hyperplasia. So, the cerebellar hyperplasia cats have trouble walking. You know, Kevin, I heard that's good for your soul. Sorry. All right. So, Umbles said, I surely do like lizards, but lizards don't like me. Why don't lizards like you? Asked Verdi. Don't interrupt, Umbles grumbled. Umbles grumbled. Dear me, whined Aggie. If I don't shed soon, this itchy skin will drive me bananas. Yes, Kevin, that's the cerebellar hyperplasia kitties. They have trouble walking because they have an underdeveloped cerebellum. And there's 3 stages of cerebellar hyperplasia. They don't get worse. It's just that, they learn to adapt. So Derecho, who you just saw walking, he's got medium CH. He walks, but with difficulty. Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you, thank you. And we're glad that you're here. Dear me, whined Aggie, if I don't shed soon, this itchy skin will drive me bananas. This is called Verdi, and this is by the same author of Stella Luna. Stella Luna is a very famous children's book, and we've read that a couple times. So VRS1 just put a little link about cerebellar hyperplasia. That it's good information to learn because a lot of cats here have cerebellar hyperplasia. Verdi tapped the tune with his tail as he waited to speak. Stop that, Verdi. It makes me nervous, Ribbon complained. Oh, wonderful. Besides, you'll never grow up to be properly green, always interrupting and constantly fidgeting. Verdi couldn't imagine being in such a hurry to not be like them. And he really wanted to keep his sporty stripes. Hoping to find snakes that weren't so boring, Verdi slipped away. And you see Verdi's the yellow snake, the little yellow, and then the older snakes are green. Dozer was snoring in a tree, not far from the others. Hello, said Verdi. Do you want to climb trees with me? I'm tired, Dozer growled. Go do a few laps around the jungle, okay? Verdi's heart sank. Greens were not only lazy and boring, they were rude. At the top of a very tall tree, Verdi gripped one branch with his tail and another with his little snake jaws. I will never be lazy, boring, or green, he thought. I will jump and climb and keep moving so fast that I will stay forever and striped forever. Then, Verdi let go. Oh, you got a Winston, huh? There was a Winston here. A Winston who had CH. One of my cats is just turned 15. All right, so Verdi just let go, and look, he is flying through the air. From a distance, the greens watched. Oh my, they chorused. Ribbon shook his head. At this rate, he'll be lucky to make it to his first molt. Aggie nodded. He's likely to put an eye out on a branch. Umbles moaned. He may not live to turn green. Do you see Verdi in the distance flying away? It's not easy being green. But one day, Verdi's skin began to peel, revealing a pale green stripe stretching along his whole body. Cack, he gasped. How can this be? I'm the speediest snake in the jungle, and I'm still turning green. He raced down the river, grabbing up a mouthful of rough leaves, and Derecho is on his way back. Thank you, Jensen. I really appreciate that, and I love doing this. We do this every Wednesday about this time. Verdi flung himself into the water. If I can't run this green off, I will scrub it off. His frantic splashing caught the eye of a large bottom feeder, cruising the murky depths. Yum, the old fish hummed. Lunch. And you see Verdi up in the corner. Before the fish could haul Verdi under, the frightened snake bit him on the nose. Ah, pooh! With a blast of his rubbery lips, the great fish sneezed, sending Verdi into the air. Slapping onto the soggy shore, Verdi skidded out of reach. Whew! That was close, he sputtered. Every inch of his body was covered with wet, gloppy mud. Kind of lumpy, kind of brown. Sure beats being green. He left his mud on. Yes, I am here every Wednesday night. Unless there's another issue that I can't make it. But the soft brown muck dried into a hard gray shell, and Verdi could barely move. If he even budged, the stuff cracked off in jagged chunks. As each piece fell away, Verdi could see that his body was even greener than before. "This is terrible!" cried Verdi. He pictured himself hanging around in droopy loops, itching and complaining and worrying all day like those old greens. He looked up into the sky where the sun blazed a beautiful yellow, just the color he used to be. Then he pulled a vine to the top of the tree. Launching himself from a treetop, Verdi startled a flock of colorful birds. He became dizzy with delight. Sure, the bright sun and his lofty speed would turn him golden again. In his joy, Verdi forgot that he would fall back to earth. Whippity-wappity, whip-whap, wham! Plummeting through the trees, Verdi landed in a crooked spiral across a log on the forest floor. He could not move. "Help!" he croaked. Yeah, those little kittens are crazy. Absolutely crazy. As usual, the Greens had been watching Verdi's antics. They moved quickly to where he lay. "Didn't we say it would come to this?" Umble said, shaking his head. Aggie sighed. "Lucky things he's still got two good eyes." They gently lifted Verdi up to a safer place, where they could watch over him while he healed. Neatly splintered to a branch, Verdi had no choice but to listen to the Greens as they gabbed. "Quick as lightning," answered Aggie, "and I climbed giant trees like they were nothing. They grew taller then, you know. The things I dared to run down and swallow," Umbles bragged. "Wild boar were no match for me." Verdi was astonished. "You used to run and climb and hunt giant pigs? What happened?" "Ribbon crashed, just like you," Aggie replied. "I took a terrible fall and almost put an eye out. That old Umbles here nearly choked to death. Now, we all prefer the quiet life. A warm perch, a little sunshine, and an occasional good meal." The Greens rambled on about their days of glory, and Verdi settled in on his branch. Finally, one afternoon, Umble said, "Looks like you're ready to go again." He carefully untied Verdi from the branch. "You are welcome to come with us," said Aggie. Ribbon agreed. The three Greens slipped quietly back into the forest. Verdi was not ready to join them. He wasn't sure where he wanted to go, so he just stretched and stayed put until the sun went down. He listened to the forest come alive. And here's a picture of the forest coming alive. Hello, Wicked Wings. Oh, my book is falling apart. Uh-oh. Time passed. The sun and moon took turns in the sky. Verdi marveled as the full moon grew thinner every night. Then he watched patiently as it slowly grew round again. He wondered why he hadn't noticed that before. Verdi became so green that he blended perfectly with the leaves. He was so still that the other creatures walked right by him without seeing him. One fine morning, as Verdi basked in the sunshine, two small yellow snakes approached. They tapped and fidgeted as they stared. "Get a load of that old green guy," one of them whispered. "Do you think he ever moves?" The other snickered. "I seriously doubt it." "They're just like I thought I used to be," said Verdi. And I'm now what I was afraid to be." He looked at his big green body and slowly smiled. "How would you like to climb trees with me?" he asked. "With you?" The yellows were astounded. "I'll even show you my fancy figure eight," Verdi replied, though he was a little worried about putting an eye out. With practice, the three snakes performed a perfect triple figure eight. Leaping and looping with his little striped friends, Verdi laughed. "I may be big, and I may be very green, but I am still me." Snake notes. So that's the end of the story, but now we have some snake notes. There are about 2,500 species of snakes, from tiny thread snakes just 4 inches long to giant reticulated pythons that grow to nearly 33 feet. Snake populations are natives to all parts of the world except Ireland, Iceland, New England, and the polar regions. A snake's skin is dry, not slimy as many people believe, and their scales are tough. Depending on the species of snake, scales may be shiny and smooth or very rough. Some snakes actually polish their scales by rubbing them with an oily secretion from a gland by their nose. While many snakes see very well, others are blind. Most use their nostrils to pick up scents.
That's what I was looking for. Thank you.
Snakes use an inner ear as well as the other sensors in their bodies to detect vibrations around them. Yeah, no birds for you.
Okay. Oh.
Some snakes have heat-detecting pits in their faces that help them to hunt in darkness. All snakes rely on their delicate forked tongues. As the tongue darts out, it collects chemicals from everything it touches. Then it withdraws. It passes over the nasal organ in the roof of the snake's mouth. This organ possesses the chemicals, providing the snake with important information about its environment. Snakes are carnivores, which means they eat animals. Their diets can include insects, reptiles, even other snakes, fish, eggs, birds, and rodents. Some of the biggest snakes will eat creatures as large as a deer. Many kinds of snakes can go months without eating. About 25% of the world's snakes are venomous. Their venom is used to quickly paralyze prey and for self-defense. Although most snakes would rather flee than fight, it is smart to admire all wild snakes from a distance. These often shy reptiles will appreciate your respect. Among the many non-venomous types of snakes is the family of giant snakes. Bodi, which includes all pythons and boas. While boas are ovoviviparous, they birth their babies fully formed. Pythons are oviparous, which means they lay eggs. Green tree python mothers protect their eggs until hatching time, nearly 2 months. Once they emerge, the baby snakes are on their own. These hatchlings range in color from dark reddish brown to bright yellow. Approximately 8 inches long when they hatch, these babies grow to about 6 feet. After several molts, their skin colors change to the rich green of a mature snake. Hello, Vanessa. The young snakes eat insects and small lizards, using clever techniques to capture their food, such as wiggling the worm-like tips of their tails to lure their prey within striking range. Adults become adept at capturing birds by curling up and resting motionless in trees before striking. Their unusual coiling position allows them to operate much like a spring. Green tree pythons use constriction or squeezing to immobilize their prey. Snakes are valued by humans for many reasons, including the ability to keep rodent populations in check. These sensitive creatures are an important part of our ecosystem. So that is Verdi. So I'm going to take a little sip of my pop, and then we're going to go into smudge. And that's smudge. That's how I talk to our smudge. All right. Little maniacs. So here is little smudge. Let me pull it out so you can see. Now, my smudge at home is basically a gray tiger. He's a tabby. Gray tabby. And the thing about Smudge at home, he's got a white smudge on his nose, and it looks like a cat. It's in the shape of a cat looking sideways. All right, so here's Smudge again. All right, story and pictures by, I don't know. So here's a color picture of Smudge. No picture of your Smudge. Oh, good idea. Let me show you what my Smudge looks like. And I actually just took this last week. All right, that is Smudge. You can't really see the cat smudge on his nose, but you can see the little white. Hello, Ms. M. So that's Smudge. Smudge just turned 15 years old. Let me see if I have a picture of Let me see if I can get it up there. That's good. So that's a close-up. And I don't know if you can see, but it looks like the side of a cat on her nose. Isn't that cute? Her real name is Calypso, but I never call her Calypso. Calypso was actually the name given to her as a baby, but I just always call her Smudge. Yeah. Yep. And Smudge doesn't like other cats. Smudge also doesn't like other people. So, all right, without further ado, we're going to go into the book Smudge. Muff was delighted with her new kittens. She purred and purred.
Bella, one time. How can I lose Bella? I never did find out where she came out.
And just an FYI, if any trolls come on, ignore them. So just wanted to at least put that out there. So if you see somebody acting trollish like the other person about 5 minutes ago, ignore them. Ultimately, the mods will zap them, because that's what mods do. So there's always going to be trolls. It's really how you deal with them.
You want a couple snackers?
All right. Buster, the big red father cat, was not half so pleased. He had never seen such tiny kittens before, and they were not at all what he had expected. In his opinion, they looked rather like mice, though he did not say that out loud. There were 3 of them, 2 boys and a girl. The red one, who took after his father, was called Junior. The black one was called Smudge. And the little black, white, and red girl kitten was named Betty Jo, after an aunt on her mother's side of the family.
The one place I really love.
Here's the father.
Come on, Jamie, let's go. Come on. Come on, come on, come on. Follow hard, Jamie.
At first the kittens did nothing but eat and sleep.
Let's go.
They did not even open their eyes.
Come on, this way.
But every day they grew a little fatter and a little fluffier, and every day they looked more like kittens. When Buster got used to his children, he became quite fond of them. Yes, she's a bit antisocial, but Smudge, my Smudge, when she is hungry, she will devil the heck out of you. She will meow all the time when she's hungry. She will, really try. And the other thing she does is she likes to kind of climb up on me and like bat me, when I'm waking up or when I'm going to sleep. And she will just sit on my chest until I have to kind of push her off. I think she's got a pretty good life, but she had a very difficult first couple months of her life. And obviously, I think she was taken from her mother too soon because she still sucks on my fingers, and she's 15 years old. But she's a good cat. I mean, whenever we have people over, she will hide. She will not come out. So, all right. When Buster got used to his children, he became quite fond of them. He liked to help with their bath and often stayed in the box with them while Muff got out to stretch her legs. When the kittens were 10 days old, their eyes opened. Soon after, they learned to walk, waddling about unsteadily on their short legs, with their tails sticking up like little pine trees. Presently, they began to wonder about the world, outside their box, and to stand on tippy toes to look over the edge. One day, Muff and Buster decided that the children were old enough to be left alone for a while, and they went out in the garden to chase grasshoppers. No one realized that the kittens had grown large enough to climb out of their box, but they had. Smudge, who was the bravest, was the first over the side. Junior quickly followed, and then Betty Jo. But they were in a big room full of ominous-looking furniture. But the kittens wisely took no chances. I have not heard how Marilyn's shoulder is. She looks okay. She's running around like everything's fine. They crept very quietly all over the place, sniffing everything to see if it was dangerous. However, when nothing growled or barked or pounced at them, they forgot to be afraid. And then they began to play. Doesn't this one look like the little calico kitten here? What's the little calico kitten's name? Oh! Speak of the devil! Let me see if I can grab. All right. What do you think? That's pretty good, isn't it? That looks like you. But you're not getting away until you get a boop. You know, boop, 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 boop. All right, you can go. All right, I had to do that. All right. So they crept quietly all over the place, sniffing everything to see if it was dangerous. However, when nothing growled or barked or pounced at them, they forgot to be afraid and began to play. It looks like the different kitty. Yeah, I know. But it's the closest I could come up with. All right. Little Betty Jo crawled under a rug and hid. She was pretending to be a wild kitten in the woods, and the rug was her cave. Junior made believe the window curtain was an enemy and attacked it savagely with all his teeth and claws. It was a fierce battle, but Junior won, without a doubt. For when the fight was over, the window curtain was full of holes, and Junior didn't have a scratch. Then Smudge, who was a very brave kitten, climbed up the side of the sofa and jumped onto the table. Then he found a marvelous plaything, a lamp with a fine silk shade that you could really get your claws into. And by standing on tiptoe and reaching, he did get his claws into it. He tugged and tugged while the lamp rocked on his base. He tugged some more, and suddenly the whole thing toppled over. And with Smudge still clinging to it, for he didn't have time to unhook his claws, they all crashed to the floor. Meow! Shrieked Smudge. Tearing loose his claws, he scrambled under the sofa, followed by Junior and Betty Jo, who were almost as frightened as he was. With their eyes round and their fur standing on end, they watched the fallen lamp to see what it would do next. But the lamp did not move. It just lay there on the floor, all broken in pieces. Purr, 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 called Muff anxiously when she heard Smudge cry, and she rushed back into the house. Buster followed a more leisurely pace. He was fond of the children, but he did not worry over them as Muff did. Mew, 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 cried the kittens, running out from under the sofa to meet their mother. They knew the lamp would not hurt them if she was there. Muff sniffed them all over very carefully and was greatly relieved to find out they still had all of their paws and tails and whiskers. Just the same, she did not like having to have them running about in the room where anything might happen. And she told them so over and over in cat language. Then she seized Smudge by the scruff of his neck and dragged him back to the box and plopped him in. When she returned for Junior and finally Betty Joe. When they were all three safe in the box again, she leapt in with them and washed them with her rough pink tongue. That night the kittens were very hungry after all of their adventures, and after supper they were very tired. When bedtime came, do you suppose they begged Muff to tell them another story? Or teased Buster to let them stay up 5 minutes longer? Of course not. They just snuggled up close to their warm fairy mother and purred themselves to sleep. You know, I couldn't help thinking, you know, when I was doing fostering, we fostered quite a bit of moms and their babies. And it was always fun when the babies would get bigger, how they used to explore. And, you know, everybody knows that we adopted a mom and baby, a mom and her daughter, Magnolia and Jessie. And so they've been with me for a little over 3 years. Let me see if I have a picture. You know what, I do, because Gallant stuck his face in this picture too. So, hey, wait a minute, get out of here, Bixby. All right. So, yes, that is Coralie. So in the middle is Gallant. Gallant, everybody knows, came here from FFRC, and the orange and white is Magnolia, who is the mommy, and the baby is Jessie. So we fostered Magnolia and her 3 surviving kittens. Thank you, Bella Bell. The reason why I mention this is because, just like a lot of the cats here, and of course Gallant, you know, they usually come out of a pretty bad situation. And Magnolia was Magnolia was found in a ditch with a prolapsed uterus. Thank you, Ms. M. And she was very sick, and they had to take her kittens away from her. And one of them passed away. She had 4 kittens, one of them passed. So, oh, thank you, Evelyn. So, we fostered Magnolia and her 3 kittens, and it was fun. It was funny to watch because the first couple days, Mommy was so nervous. Mommy Magnolia, she would move the cats to different places of the house until we fought. What's that? What's that? Oh, you weren't talking to me. Gallant's doing okay. Yeah, Gallant's doing okay. He's probably sleeping right now. So, but it was fun to watch because just like here, once they feel safe and secure, you see their personalities come out, and you see, as they're relaxing and things like that. But basically, we decided that we were going to adopt one cat. Hi. There's a little kitty up here.
Oh my goodness.
So Bonnie and I were talking, it was like, who do we adopt? You know, she wanted to adopt little baby Jessie because Jessie had an eye problem. and she really wanted to make sure, Jessie went to a good home. So I wanted to adopt Mommy because I kind of was very enamored with Mommy. She went through a lot. She had a horrible, horrible beginning, and I just really liked her. So we compromised and we adopted both of them. So they were our 2 foster fails. But we fostered a lot of moms and babies. It was a lot of fun. Really, really, just watching them grow up. It was just fantastic. All right. I am going to end today with a couple more poems from Something Big Has Been Here. The first one is called The Spider. What are you doing up there? You're the tiniest little thing, and you're just looking down at me like you're looking down on me. And that's either Quiller or Quill. The spider, sly and talented, weaves silver webs of silken thread, then waits for unobservant flies to whom she will not apologize. Bats. Bats have shiny leather wings. Bats do many clever things. Bats doze upside down by day. Bats come out at night to play. Bats cavort in soaring clicks, sounding ultrasonic shrieks. Wait, that doesn't rhyme. Anyway, acrobatic in the sky, bats catch every bug they spy. And look, we have been joined by greatness. Ladies and gentlemen, Asha! Asha!
Here.
Captain Cunnington. I'm Captain Cunnington, the scourge of the sea. No pirate alive is as fearsome as me. Hello, Cat B. I'm 10 times as tough as the skin of a whale. The sharks cringe in terror whenever I sail. I'm Captain Cunnington, the bane of my fleet. I don't wash my face and I don't wash my feet. I wear a black hat and I fly a black flag. I'm bad as can be, though I don't like to brag. When I'm on the deck with my cutlass in hand, the saltiest sailors start sailing for land. They know I'm the nastiest nautical knave, and bold as a brigand is bound to behave. I'm Captain Knipton. I'm up to no good. You'll soon walk the plank, as I think that you should. I'll show you right now how I vanquish a foe, but I hear my mother, so I have to go. Is that Churchill? Let me check. Oh, is that you? Oh, yeah? Hey, come here. You must be talking about this kitty. Oh, look at that. He's reading the chat. Yes. He's saying, yes, I know. These kittens are quick. Yes. You. Yeah, I know. You're very popular. I don't know. I don't see you on hold. Thank you, Stephanie. I'm going to read a couple more poems, and then I'm going to end it for today. Yes, you are Churchill, huh? You know, it's a good thing that we used to have a Winston here. So can you imagine Winston and Churchill together? Little Churchill. Little Churchill. Oh. You know, I haven't booped Churchill yet. Boop. Boop. It's boop time. It's boopage. It's boopage. What's a boopage?
Night, everybody. See you Friday.
Good night.
Good night.
Hi, Marilyn.
What's a boop? Hi. Do you see all your fans out there? You're very popular. You know, when I first came here, everybody's like, where's Churchill? Where's Churchill? He didn't really care about me. They only care about, you know. Yeah, he's sweet. He talks a lot, too. All right, one more time. I'm going to boop one more. All right, one last boop. Oh, no. Okay. All right, well, then he wants to be a pirate cat. That's... Here, let me move over here so you can jump. Oh, yep, there we go. That's what he wanted. Yep. All right, let's get back to the poems.
That would be nice.
My younger brother's appetite.
3 daily.
My younger brother's appetite is finicky and very slight. He's almost guaranteed to hate whatever's placed upon his plate. I will not eat those greens, he groans. This chicken has too many bones. The cantaloupe is far too sweet. There's too much gravy on the meat. He whines. This salad tastes like soap. The macaroni's more like rope. I cannot stand these soggy peas, and I will not touch this awful cheese. My younger brother doesn't eat enough to fill a parakeet. However, did he get to be the size and shape of two of me? That's always a question. I think Janie is waiting for the little walk before. Hey. Yeah, she's letting everybody know that she's ready for a little walk. All right, next one. Yes, they do. They do give Janie dog food. I'm sorry. The next one is called. I'm sorry I squashed a banana in bed. I'm sorry I bandaged a whole loaf of bread. I'm sorry I pasted the prunes to your pants. I'm sorry I brought home the ants. I'm sorry for letting the dog eat the broom. I'm sorry for freeing a frog in your room. I'm sorry I wrote on the wall with sardines. I'm sorry I sat on the beans. I'm sorry for pulling the peas in my hair. I'm sorry for leaving the eggs on your chair. I'm sorry for tying a can to the cat. I'm sorry for being a brat. Next one is called We Moved About a Week Ago. We moved about a week ago. It's nice here, I suppose. The trouble is I miss my friends. Like Beth, who boops my nose. And Jess, who liked to wrestle and dump me in the dirt. And Liz, who found the garter snake and pulled down my shirt. I miss my friend Fernando. He sometimes pulls my hair. I miss his sister Sarah, who shaved my teddy bear. I miss the Trumbull triplets, who dyed my sneakers blue. And Gus, who broke my glider. I guess I'll miss him too. I really miss Melissa, who chased me up a tree. I even miss Gorilla Brown, who used to sit on me. The more I think about them, the more it makes me sad. I hope I make some friends here as great as those I had. Look at that little... I just love that. The ones that just sit there and just meow at you like, you're going to do my bidding now. Now!
Who's meowing?
Churchill.
Do you need more baby food? Jackie made you happy with that, so let's try it, okay?
Oh, that's funny. So demanding.
Yeah, it's not baby food, is it?
The Siamese laying on the rug in the middle looks exactly like my cat. That is Asha. The famous Asha. Asha is a resident. Asha has 3 legs. Asha, everybody thought Asha was feral when she came here because she actually has an ear tip. She is the furthest thing you will ever see from a feral. Let me tell you something about Asha as well. Asha is very even-keeled. Not much bothers her. But it reminded me because of Churchill. But there used to be another cat here named Winston. And Winston knew how to push Asha's buttons. Because I have never seen Asha get so mad at another cat. And that little Winston was just crazy. It was funny. Is Ringo the adult cat, the black and white cat? Because if it is, Ringo is here in the pineapple.
Well, he acted like one. When he went and
I'm getting it for you, okay?
You gotta hurry up.
who to bring.
My God. Churchill hasn't eaten in what? 3 minutes? It's funny though. I do love watching these little kittens once they're, you know, they just think they're, you know.
Okay, here he is. He's happy.
Here, let me sit back so that you guys can watch him. He is a cute one, isn't he?
Okay, I see you, Barb. I see you.
Bye. See you. Maybe
Oh, he's orange and
Friday.
white. Okay.
Yeah. We'll see.
Okay.
Okay.
So, I haven't seen.
You need me to bring you anything from
I
Marshall?
wonder. I don't know who this black and white cat is.
No, I'm good.
All right.
No,
Next
thank
poem.
Okay.
Four vain and ancient tortoises.
Hey, I may try to text you to see if you
Four
are
vain
here
and
stuff
ancient
for you to
tortoises
bring you up.
upon a balmy shore were aimlessly debating who was the slowest with the four.
Bye.
Oh, look at this. Orange and white like Maryland. Yeah, I don't, not sure. I'm slowest here, the tortoise one, said tortoise one. Said tortoise two, I crawl. I'm sure it's me, said tortoise three, and four, I'm worst of all. We'll hold a race, said tortoise one, said tortoise two agreed. Said three and four will thus compare the utter lack of speed. I'll lose, of course, said tortoise one, said two, I'll not prevail. Said three, I'll wind up far behind, said tortoise four, I'll fail. For vain and ancient tortoises began their foolish race, and since they were all tortoises, they set a sluggish pace. I'm trailing now, said tortoise one, and tortoise two, I'm last. I disagree, said tortoise three, said four, you're all too fast. Hi, you enjoying the book? Or the food? I can't really tell, huh? Then neck and neck and neck and neck, the finish line was crossed. And none of them had won the race, and none of them had lost. You bested me, said tortoise one, and two, my loss is sweet. Said three, I've shown I'm last alone. Said four, I bet defeat. And so they go on boasting of how slowly they had run, each futilely insisting that the other three had won. They argue indecisively, no wiser than before, four vain and ancient tortoises upon a balmy shore. Hi, would you like to join me? Churchy? Here comes magic. Here comes magic. Here comes magic. Magic's only sniffed my shoes once today. Hi, Magic. All right. A goat wandered into a junkyard. A goat wandered into a junkyard in search of an afternoon meal. He started with remnants of rubber and several fragments of steel. He nibbled a couple of axles, he gobbled up gauges and gears, he gnawed on a tangle of wires and colorful plastic veneers. He polished all various bearings, he munched on a mountain of brass, he bolted a heap of upholstery and numerous panels of glass. He put away pistons and pedals that followed a fender or two with most of the standard transmission, and they aren't easy to chew. Magic is trying to climb up me. So, now he heard the food going, so now he's abandoned me. You know, Stacy, I don't know. I mean, but you know, all cats, they go through phases of their favorite spot. You know, that's what I've noticed. You know, for 2 weeks they'll go to this spot, and then they decide, I like this other spot now. I'm going to use that spot. You know, he ate an assortment of sprockets. He swallowed some springs by the coil, then washed his lunch with a gallon of 40-weight premium oil. As soon as that goat had digested his odd but industrious meal, he coughed and he coughed and he coughed, and he coughed up an automobile. All right, we're going to read one more story or one more poem, and then I'm going to call it a night. This is called the Disputatious Deeble. Disputatious. I'm the disputatious Deeble who was bound to disagree with anything and any time you ever say to me. It's freezing, you may shiver. I'll reply, it's far too hot. And if you claim it's raining, I'll rebuff you. No, it's not. I'm disputatious Deeble, contradictory all the time. If you remark a lemon, I'll enunciate a lime. Sweet butter, you may comment, I'll correct you, salty cheese. And if you call out carrots, I will persevere with peas. I'm the disputatious Deeble, disharmonious and cross. If you say lovely gravy, I'll insist, an awful sauce. Should you proclaim it's sunny, I'll retort, a cloudy night. And I am never, never wrong, and you are never right. So, this book, we got a lot of good mileage out of this book of the hymns, of the poems. You know, this is basically one of my wife's books that she used for school. And again, I talked about this at 7 o'clock. I highly recommend. I'm actually going to be leaving momentarily. I got this off Amazon. I originally started looking at this because I was getting the ads on Facebook, but they wanted like $15. And I thought, let me check Amazon. And they sell these 2 for $9. The reason why these are cool, it's got little teeth on them. So any kind of cat fur that's stuck to like a cat tower, you can really get all the fur off. It's really a cool type. I just thought I'd show you guys because if you have any cat towers, and you know how cat fur always sticks to the cat towers, it's really hard to get off. So I just thought this was wonderful. You know, I like I said, I get cat advertisements on Facebook all the time, and I saw this. Oh, that's pretty cool. I like that, but I've gotten burned a couple times on Facebook ads, so I will not buy anything that's based on a Facebook ad. Because, like I said, I've gotten things that were way overpriced, or it took 6 months to get to my house, if at all. So I just actually stopped buying anything off of Facebook. If it's an ad from Facebook. Yes, it is. It's cool. It's got little teeth on it. Really cool. Thank you, Danielle. So, it's really you should see my trash can. It is filled with cat fur because of this. All right, everybody. Thank you for a great night as usual. I will be back here next Wednesday. Same bat time. No, I'm actually leaving now. I usually do an hour, like 7:30 to 8:30, Jensen. So, and like I said, I'll be back next Wednesday. And want to thank everybody for tuning in. And, we always have a good time. A curry comb usually used for horses. That's a good tip, PNW, Lisa. That's a real good tip. But, it is so sometimes hard to get it off the cat towers, But this one you just like, and it comes right up. All right, thanks everybody. Where are you going? Is that Alma? Oh my God. Alma is something else. She is up here trying to get into the Coranda Tower. I'll tell you, these CH cats, they are unbelievable. Thank you, Wicked. Take easy. Thank you, Kit Kat. Thank you, everybody. Have a good night, everybody. I don't know if that might be the last one here. Bye, Coralie.